Hi everyone! For this little project I'm working on, I need a horizontal slot boring machine. But they're kinda pricey and I don't want to buy it just for one project, so I decided to just make one. And in this video, I'm gonna show you what I did and how I did it. As a base for this machine, I'm gonna use this leftover MDF structure I have sitting around from one of my previous projects. It's nothing fancy, just a sheet of MDF supported by reinforced rails made of MDF also. Nice thing about it that it's pretty stable and stays flat. Some linear rails that I have sitting around for both X and the Z axis. Z axis is always in line or parallel with the axis of the cutting tool itself. Who has linear rails just sitting around, you might ask? Well, drawer slides like these, well, heavy-duty ones would be my second best choice if I didn't have linear slides. We're gonna mark and drill some holes to attach X-axis assembly to the Z-axis linear bearings. Nice and steady. Adding oil or some cutting fluid is always a good idea. I'm using 1/4 inch drill to allow for a little bit of a play when using M6 screws. When assembling linear rails and components, it is very important to have them parallel. This is why I take my time to make sure that they stay parallel and that there is no mechanical binding at the end. And as always, the first attempt failed because heads of the screws were sticking up too high and interfering with the linear bearings. And I couldn't counterbore the plate to sunk screws deep enough because they're too long and they bottom out inside the linear bearing. So a trip to the store, and about $10 later I got new screws that worked out pretty good. Out with the old ones and in with a new one. Nice. Next we're gonna attach Z-axis rails to the base, making sure that rails stay parallel. I wish I could work this fast in real life too. After completion of this step of the build, I'm just gonna take a moment and enjoy it. Next, we're gonna mark and drill holes in the table plate of the machine. Here I'm using 1/4 inch drill, although later I found out that I had to enlarge the holes a little bit more. I also countersink these holes, and no, it's not deep enough yet. So we adjust the depth and countersink more. Then we will attach the table plate onto the X-axis linear bearings very swiftly and then enjoy it some more. Now I need to figure out the height at which the spindle or the drill will be sitting at. I already have an idea how to mount the drill or the spindle, and I'll have two plates in which I will clamp the drill, and it will be clamped between the other three plates, just like that. And it all will be attached to the baseboard and screwed down to the base of the machine. So the first drill clamping plate requires a hole for the neck of the drill, which measures about 43 millimeters, and the closest hole saw that I have is 1 3/4 inches, which is about 44 millimeters. It turned out a bit too sloppy in my opinion, but there is nothing we couldn't work with. To be able to clamp the drill with this plate, I cut a little opening on one side, and I'm gonna use this 3.5 inch screw to tighten it down with. This method worked out pretty good, and the clamping plate has a really firm grip on the drill. For the second plate, I couldn't drill the exact shaped hole, so I had to cut it out using the jigsaw. Yep, this will do. Same approach to the clamping process on this plate as well. We will put spacers between the plates and clamp them on the drill. After that, we will attach these 3 plates to the baseboard of the spindle mount. A little bit of glue will ensure high rigidity of the mount. I'm using regular 2-inch long wood screws for this operation. We will also countersink holes to make sure that the screw heads are flush with the bottom. Test fit of the drill clamp yields satisfactory results. Yeah, it's not going nowhere. Next we will attach the spindle mount plate to the base plate of the whole machine. Time to run some trials. Of course, if I had lever handles attached to the table plate to control the movement of the plate, that would be very nice. But for this one project, I decided not to do it. Besides, it works pretty well, as you can see. I made this machine so I can complete the build of the custom solid oak door that I started, and I posted one video about it already. Be on the lookout for more videos. And as always, thanks for watching. Yeah, you guys know what to do already. Have a great day.